depotting the two SugarPill palettes. I already started with the Funsize. Oh, these are my depotting tools. I create these myself by taking a a metal spatula, and I just put a small magnet. These come out of, if you completely take apart a cardboard palette, inside, usually right in here, you'll find these magnets. Sometimes they're round, and sometimes they're inside the lid up here, but I just keep them, and then I just stick it on there. It doesn't need to be glued. You can glue it if you want to, but I have this one. I have this one. This has a larger stack, and the reason I keep the stack is because if I find that I'm working on a palette and the pan just is a little bit wedged in or stuck, I will add extra magnets to give it a little bit more extra strength to pull them out. I know Artist Kit Co. does sell a metal depotting spatula like this with a small round magnet glued to the top. That's where I got the idea. But yeah, so I'm going to be using this depotting spatula. I believe it's a metal spatula. It's an MUA tool. I believe I got this one, I may have gotten this off of Shop Missy for $1. I like it because it's very thin and very, it's kind of sharp. It's nice. It's good for depotting. So I already did 3 of these, so I'm just gonna, got this one. I started this the other day just to see how difficult or easy this packaging would be to depot, because some packaging is easy and some is not. This so far has been very easy, which is good because mats tend to crack and explode, especially if they're not in tin pans or magnet reactive pans. These are, which is good. But if you're going to depot a palette that has aluminum pans or some other type of, flimsy white metal, they're more likely to, the mats especially, are more likely to crack and shatter. Just something good to know. The reason I decided to depot this one is because the pans are magnet reactive. So there's a small gap between the cardboard and the pan. I wedged the tool in there. I'm just going back and forth, and I'm going to try to move it along the edge around as much as I can. I'm probably going to speed this up after, but I just wanted to talk through my process a little bit here. So I'm just kind of loosening up the edge, and then very gently I'm going to start to pry under the pan, very carefully, as carefully as I can. Oops, go around the side. And just ever so slowly working around the edge. I nicked it a little with the tool there because I wasn't being very careful. Just going to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol on this brush to try to get the glue and the cardboard off the back so that I can label these before I lose track of what shade is what. Okay. If you struggle with dexterity issues, I definitely suggest putting the shades face down and holding them down and then scraping the glue. It'll make things a lot easier for you. You're less likely to drop them. Uh, and I got most of the glue off. There's like a little residue, but I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to be able to write on the back of the pan. It's kind of funny. I got all I got 8 of the 9 shades out. No cracking, no issues, except for this one that I dinged. I got to the very last one, and I don't know, maybe I was going a little too quick. Maybe it's because it's such a light toned pigment, but it cracked. I got a tiny little flake of a crack. I don't know if you can see that, but just a tiny piece popped off. But that is super, super common with mats. Hopefully I won't have to repan it. I'm just going to stick it in there for now. And whatever, if it falls out, it falls out. It probably will when I clean the pan. But what I will subsequently do is I will use this depotting tool to scrape a little bit of the cardboard out of the bottom of the wells. I would just say like a couple layers, right? And then I will put a magnet in here. And I turn the palette into magnetic packaging. I've done this with quite a few palettes. I've never had an issue, but yeah, if you just scrape out some of this cardboard and put a small magnet, like as thin as you can find, in the bottom, it ensures that you'll have enough space between the top of the pan of eyeshadow and when you close the lid, that the eyeshadow isn't sticking up out of the well. But I've been doing this, I don't know, for years. I've done it with quite a few palettes, and they always come out totally fine. It does kind of ding up the edge, especially if you're very impatient like me and you go in and really start prying them out. But, you know, once it's all put back together, you can almost not even tell, honestly. You would be hard-pressed to tell that it was a depotted palette turned magnetic. So, I hope you found this helpful. Here they are, totally depotted, with the names written on the back. I'm just going to organize them how I would like to organize. I did start scraping out the cardboard there for the magnet, but I'm done for now because I don't think I have any magnets that I could use. Wow, okay, so the SugarPill Funsize was way easier to depot. I don't know why, but the packaging, not only did I get very minimal damage around the pan wells, the glue was fairly easy to pop off, and the shades came out very easily compared to like a lot of packaging. This one, however, wow. I mean, the destruction already. The packaging is way more flimsy. It's just going around the edges doing way more damage. And if you could see in the bottom here, the packaging is getting completely destroyed because the glue is so strong in this one. I don't know why. Wow. Down to the last few. I thought I would just show how I scrape pans. Just hold it down. I just used this little brush, and yes, this is the that viral brow brush that person with shaved brows uses. That's the key. But I find it works great to apply rubbing alcohol to the back of a pan. I got 2 of them for like $1. Just saturate the cardboard with the little glue, hold it down, scrape, scrape, scrape. This is probably the most time-consuming and tedious part of depotting a cardboard palette, especially if you, you know, want to label the bottom. If you don't care so much about residue and you're just going to stick a sticker on it anyways, you don't really need to go too ham with it. You can just get it to this point and just stick a sticker on it. No big deal. I've done that in the past many times, but if you're going to write on it with a marker or a pen, you're going to want to get rid of all this cruddy residue because it's quite you know, it's sticky. It's glue. So rubbing alcohol works great, so that I don't pour it directly on the pan and then potentially have it go under the edges and get on the matte eyeshadow. I just stick my brush in here, a little bit of alcohol. I know I just dropped some. Just kind of mush it around on here. And it kind of, not kind of, it does dilute the glue a little, make it a little more tacky and less cementy. And you can just easily scrape it into one little sticky booger. Sticky booger. Okay, take it off. And I'll go back over that with the brush one more time, just so that my Sharpie will write on it nicely. Okay, not bad, not bad. And then, okay, shade, whoa, hit the stand. Shade name is Power Up. Make sure it's dry. And I'm just going to write on here, I'm going to abbreviate PWR up. Oh, looks like a V, but whatever, I'll know what it is. Power Up. Sweet. Okay, so here we are. Funsize 2, completely depotted. Look at how cute these are. All labeled. Shade names. Packaging is a little bit more beat up than the Funsize. The glue was way stronger. This part of the packaging was way more fragile and got a little bit tore up around the edge here and here. I'm sure it's hard to see because of the lighting. But anyways, gonna put these back in. I'm not making them magnetic. I'm not making the palettes magnetic yet. Because I don't know if I have any sheet magnets or any little magnets that I can put in here. But when I do, I will. So for now, this is my now depotted SugarPill Funsize 2. And here is the Funsize, the original. When I first got these, I was very surprised to find that the color stories are extremely similar. I did do swatch comparisons on my backup IG account, which is the same name as my YouTube account, Blend of Days. It doesn't look like it with the background and everything, but swatching these side by side, they were surprisingly similar. I think if I had known when I bought, because I bought these together, SugarPill had a bundle deal when the Funsize 2 launched. I don't know that I would have bought them both, but I do love them both, and I'm so glad I'm going to be able to use these as singles now. So let me know if you do depotting yourself, if you have depotted in the past and found that it's just not for you. It's very messy. I just made a mess of my beautiful scarf here. I'm going to have to wash it. It's messy. It's time consuming. There's the potential to break shades. I usually do not like to depot all matte palettes because I do not like repanning mattes. I don't mind repanning shimmers. I find it extremely easy, no problem. Mattes, I know how to do it. I know the methods. I know the method that Faces by Gina does, the grind it up, have it in the mortar and pestle or bowl, press it down, scoop it out, press it. I do the two press method. I don't care. I do not like repanning or repressing mattes at all, ever. I hate it, in fact. So just considering depotting these was making me a little bit hesitant. Luckily, this one was extremely easy. Extremely easy. This one gave me so much trouble. The top 6 were, I couldn't believe how hard they were glued in. The bottom 3 weren't too bad, especially the last 2 that I did were pretty easy. They popped right out, but wow, harrowing. It was a harrowing adventure. I did end up cracking this one slightly when depotting, and it's called Continue. But I put the little flake back and pushed it in with my finger, and it's in there. So for now, and I don't even care. I mean, I dug my tool into this shade here, but it's fine. It is what it is. I'm just glad that I will be able to use these now in BYOP, and it's exciting because I love these shades, and I do love SugarPill, and I didn't want to declutter these, even though I don't use them. I will definitely use them in singles, as singles in BYOP in the future. Thank you so much if you watched this. This is not my normal type of content.